If you've been paying attention for the last few months, you've learned that job security is a myth. It's always been, but it's much more evident now. The market is extremely dynamic, and in demand industries and skills change swiftly. And even stellar performers are not protected from the negative impact of a crashing economy. It's exactly these three realities that should inspire you to consider your next career move. If you already love what you do, then focus on how to continuously reinvent your skills to morph with the changing market. But if you've been dreaming of making a career change, now may be the perfect time to get started. Here's why. First, you're already experiencing disruption. It may be in the form of a furlough, a change in work responsibilities, or a virtual working environment. But one of the major reasons people don't pursue a job switch is because humans dislike change, and more specifically, the discomfort and ambiguity that comes with changes, even positive ones. But now that you're being forced to change anyhow, this may be a great time to capitalize on that force and move in the direction you've always wanted to go. It won't be comfortable or easy, and there will be ambiguity, but that already exists in your workplace and industry right now. So why not take the reins and create the future you want instead of being pulled along by a current that doesn't much care where you end up? Next, the world is changing rapidly. Right now, it's changing daily, and while that will level off eventually, we'll never return to where we were before. If you choose the safe route and remain on the path you've always been on, it may only be a matter of time before you hit a dead end. What's been working for your career for the last several years will not work for the next several. So you need to decide if you want to begin carving your new path now, or wait for fate to plunk you out in an area of chance. 3, you have time. While this doesn't apply to everyone, if it applies to you, it's a fantastic opportunity to take advantage of. If you're not commuting or you have extra time to learn new skills, why not take an online certification course or start that side gig? What are you waiting for? The pandemic has thrown us all for a major and unprecedented loop. But it will end, and you may never get a chance like this again in your lifetime. Stop waiting for things to return to normal, because normal doesn't look anything like you remember it. Instead, seize this moment to focus on what you've always wanted to do. Next, gaps are explainable. There will never likely be another year in your professional history like 2020 where you won't need to explain away a gap on your resume or a layoff from a company. The global pandemic has impacted the world, so you'll find many sympathetic interviewers who understand what you were facing in your career history during this time. So use that gift and take a risk on a new career that you've always wanted to try. Take control of your next step, and no matter how it turns out, chances are it won't be any worse than many have already experienced this year, and you can definitely handle it. Next, agility is king. No matter what your expertise or profession, adaptability is the most important skill of the future. And there's no better way to build that skill than to dive into the deep end of the pool. Agility, resilience, and creativity aren't skills you can learn under ordinary, everyday circumstances. They're only really attainable during adversity. And right now, we have adversity in spades, so make good use of it. You can't know how strong you are until your strength is tested at the outer limits. And it's unlikely you'll get another chance like this in your lifetime to test your professional agility. Lastly, if not now, then when? Humans resist change with every fiber of their being. It's uncomfortable, anxiety-provoking, ambiguous, and hard. I've met so many would-be career switchers who are too afraid to walk away from the reputation, salary, lifestyle, and identity they'd built because they fear mistakes or embarrassment or loss. Well, mistakes are inevitable on the path to growth, and embarrassment is when you give others power to shame you. And loss, well, that's just a part of every change, as are gains. So the things you fear about change, except for embarrassment, since that's a choice, are just the starting blocks. If a switch has been on your mind, remember that most people regret what they haven't done more than what they have done. So consider that when you look back on this moment of choice. If you've been waiting for a sign, an excuse, or a nudge to get started on your career switch, it's happening right at this very moment. So go for it. You've got this.